So the question here is, what are the risks commonly associated with a new developer? I can think of 4. So quality, delays, after-sales service, and developer funding. I'll touch on the most about quality. So being the first-time developer, there is very limited, if not no previous experience in developing a building at all. So this is the developer's first time doing everything from scratch, creating the renders and the brochures, selling it, signing the SPAs and getting all the registration with RERA, all the way to activating, shoring, procuring, literally building, furnishing, so on and so forth, and getting all the permits for it. In this regard, it is quite challenging because very hardly someone just gets nails it on the first time. They did every single step of the way to have a nice finished product. So this is something that will always be an inherent risk in all projects, but for the first time developer, it's super risky or super salient. So how can one mitigate against this? I think it's really looking at the attention to detail. So if you look at the brochure, the floor plans of the developer and the company website, really identify how professional and how keen they are on every single detail you see. Are there any typos? Are there any inconsistencies in what they say in one page versus the other page? When you call up the sales office, how do they deal with your queries and requests? Talk to a few brokers. What do they think? What do they know? What do they hear in the market? Do they have any sister companies that are established? Do they have any family links that are established? Do they have any plans to prove themselves to be a vision that's above the market? Are they using any contractors or architects that any other established developers have already been using? So I think these are a few proxies you can use to have the best I would say estimation or risk management for a very new developer. Because of all of these, it's also quite likely that there may be delays at handover because they may misestimate some of the processes that they would take to accomplish those deliverables. But I've also seen on the flip side where sometimes it actually makes it faster for a first-time developer to deliver because they add these buffers when they overestimate the initial handover date. So it could work both ways. I think 3, for after-sales service, same thing applies. It could work both ways, either because they've only a very finite number of clients and they want to establish themselves in the market. They will put a lot more attention in ensuring that you as a new client gets the best world-class service, because then they will build a word of mouth to their subsequent projects, and that's where they can establish their mark within the industry. However, the other way can also be true because they don't know how to deal with clients, where they can assign a accounts team to also be the client facing team, and that's where sometimes the experience is a lot more subpar, and or they may not know how to figure out how to deal with RERA and the Dubai REST kind of situation, and therefore as a client I would take forever to sign the SPA for my Okut to be launched. Very challenging to get any visibility on construction status, so on and so forth. So it could work both ways. And last but not least, developer funding. So maybe not so much now, but for new developers you really need to question where they're going to get the money from, because they really need this influx of cash in order to be able to continue building the entire building. And based on the construction status is where the escrow account works. So you put in the money in an escrow account, not in the developer's account, which safeguards your money, but these funds are released on a percentage basis back to the developer so that they can inject and fuel more funds to finish the construction of the building. So it's important to really understand where the source of the funds come from. Is that company previously a jewelry company like Pure Gold, where in that case you're a bit more assured with the funding? Or do they have any other links like a furniture company, so on and so forth, where then the risk of the developer running out of funds and capital to finish the building is a bit more minimized. So I hope this is a helpful overview of the risks that comes with a fresh, brand new Offplan developer. Any questions, let me know. Thank you.